Hi everyone, this is Sima Levy with the Gold Coast Connections coming to you live from the Contour Mortgage Studio. Kenny, our producer, is here. The most amazing, not only a friend, but a great entrepreneur, Miss Fay Mihos, is here with us today. But let me just give you a little background. Everyone, Long Island people, Manhattan people, Brooklyn, Queens, anywhere in New York, and probably not even New York, know about Americana. Situated in Manhasset, 60 most luxurious boutiques that come together once a year during Champion for Charity, usually the beginning of December, right before the holidays, and they all want to give back to their favorite charities. What an amazing and most meaningful, not only month, but bravo and kudos to you, Americana. Without all further ado, this is Miss Fay. Miss Fay, welcome to our studio. Welcome to Gold Coast Connections.
I'm excited to be here today with you.
Yes, I'm excited too as well. Please tell our viewers a little bit about what you do and what is your involvement with Americana Manhasset.
So what I do, it's kind of something you're seeing more and more emerging in the market, if you want to put a title on it, which is hard to do, to put a title. I specialize in experiential marketing, which takes traditional marketing and incorporates branding, events, and experience. It's exactly what it sounds like, because the way that I was trained and raised, personally and professionally, is to always make an introduction, an impact, and an impression. And you're really able to do that with brands across the board, with experiential marketing. But one of the things I love combining that with is real estate. I love it. So what I say is I don't just sell the real estate, I sell the lifestyle.
Which is very, very interesting point. Back a few weeks ago, we had Mr. Sean Elliott here and telling us about real estate. And what he did say is you're selling an experience just as you. When it comes to mortgages, when it comes to real estate, anything in life, it's all about the experience. What is it that you're showing us? So are you bringing an artist to display your home? Are you bringing the greatest and most amazing chef to display not only the food, but the presentation during an open house? So tell us about Champion for Charity.
So for Champions for Charity, I mean, one of literally my favorite places here on Long Island, I love Long Island, is the Americana. I grew up in the area. I would go with my mother a lot for lunch, shopping, etc. My mother was a staple there in the community, and especially after I lost my mom, I was able to feel that connection with her by getting more involved. So and my mother always got involved in charity and community. And here on Long Island, what's wonderful about us here on Long Island is we really get involved. And Champions for Charity is just breathtaking. And the reason why is because you see it, not only does Americana really come to life, but every store and then their customers, the people that get involved, they kick off the holiday season. They kick off with caring here on Long Island. And every store, it's an opportunity for people to give back to a charity of their choice, a connection through loved ones, through something that they really get involved in their community.
That's unbelievable. One of my favorite charities is the hospital, Katz Women's Hospital, and also Cohen's Medical Center, big time involved in the Americana, and I know that we're working on something together. But I just want to pick your brain for a second, because you said you used to go there with your mom a long time ago. Do you remember Millie's place?
Of course. Do you remember Swenson's? Yes. The ice cream place?
The best ice cream ever. What's your favorite flavor?
From Swenson's?
Yeah.
You're going to think it's disgusting, but I used to love their bubblegum ice cream.
Oh my God, no, me too. It's really that good. If you know, you know. Very sexy.
Millie's was the place to be.
Millie's was the place to be on Sundays. A huge crush on one of the waiters. I was there probably twice a week.
Probably was the same one I had a crush on.
So speaking of Champion for Charity, can you tell us what is your goal for this year? And what was it last year? Do you have any idea? What is the goal?
So I know people, one of the things that I like to not do is kind of get fixated on a certain number. It puts so much pressure on the charity and the people involved to hit that goal. I like to look at the number last year and exceed that.
Amazing.
Which exceeds expectations.
Are you allowed to share the number with us?
I don't know. I'd have to ask the charities.
Okay.
That's completely up to them.
But were you
they
happy?
did very well. Yes, very happy.
Okay.
Very happy.
Very good. And again, it's going to charity. And, you know, there's a very famous quote that I go by. You make for the sake of sharing. If you are making, no matter how hard you work, and no matter how young or old you are, when you make anything, you always should give some sort of percentage to charity. And that is the way to work and succeed in life. That's the way I was brought up, and that is my quote for life. What is yours? Do you have one that you go by or anything like that?
No, I was an English lit major, so there's probably every literature that I read, I connected with some sort of expression. I liked, my favorite quote is, again, going back to the way that I was raised, and I say it all the time, and I raise my children. I have 4 beautiful children, and I say, find your way, but always make an impact and an impression.
I love it. And the biggest impression is the first impression.
Always.
Right?
Introduction, impact, and impression.
I love that. And just capitalizing on what you said, I always say to my kids as well, whatever comes in out of your mouth is who you are. So be careful. Don't try to be something you're not. Control your tongue and capitalize on being proper and present yourself in a way that you want to succeed in life. So, speaking of Champion for Charity, I just want you to let the audience know, how can one get involved in the Champion for Charity? What is there? Is there a format that they have to follow? How can they get involved?
So as a person looking to participate in the shopping and support a charity of their choice, they go online and they register at the link provided. And then when you go into the stores, it has a number attached to it. And whatever you shop, it could be at any store. So the thing with Champions for Charity, the stores tend to align with one charity, but the beauty of it, of Champions for Charity, let's say, okay, I'm going to Gucci and I'm supporting, you know, a particular charity that they're partnering with, but you know what, I really want that Burberry bag and I want it to go to Burberry. You can support your charity of choice at every store at the Americana for Champions for Charity.
I love it. I'm going to put you on the spot right now. Which designer is making a huge comeback?
Oh, gosh. There's a lot of designers. I am a fashionista at heart. I've been like that from a young girl. I have 3 girls and a boy, but my daughters are the same way. I mean, I see a lot of difference in a lot of the designers. I mean, who would have thought, for example, this year we saw Fendace. Yes. No one would have ever anticipated that happen. Look at Gucci with Adidas. So I think a lot of designers, and especially post-pandemic, want to have fun. And they're going with it, and I'm obsessed with the Burberry line. I'm loving what Max Mara. I love Max Mara. I'm a Max Mara girl. It's in Europe all the time. One thing I'm obsessed with Max Mara, I have to say, is their cuff. So everyone's obsessed, obviously, with the leather cuff from Hermes. I think Max Mara is giving them a run for their money. I'm obsessed with their cuffs.
I love it. I'm obsessed with their coats.
Oh yeah,
forever and ever and ever. You can't go wrong.
Their Teddy collection is insane.
Insane, insane. It's really funny that you mentioned Burberry. To me, that is probably the designer that made a huge comeback. And the collab with the designers, huge.
Not only that, Lola.
Yeah, Lola, yes.
The Lola collection, which was with Madonna's daughter.
Correct. And I find it to be not only stunning, but very
classy.
Together and classy. And the collab is what is the Gold Connections is all about, collaborating with real estate, mortgages, and fashion. You never saw an unwell-dressed person selling a mansion, right?
Ever.
Or, and you know, I don't like to say that you have to dress nice to sell a mansion, but I really think that it goes hand in hand. The way you present yourself, the way you speak, the way you collab, the way you let people in to understand the product, it's what it's about. Speaking of fashion, what is the thing that you do with real estate that inspires you, and how did you collaborate Americana with real estate?
So one of the, I love making that personal collect. I don't separate business and personal because it's synonymous with who I am, my personality.
Can I high five you on that?
Thanks.
And I'll tell you why I just did that. Because when I was a little younger, I guess I threatened a lot of people, and they said, you get so personal with clients. But by the way, if you don't get personal, and by the way, there's boundaries, so let's not get crazy. But if you don't get personal and you don't get to know one another, you don't create. I mean, look at a behind the scene Malia, right? We collaborated and this transformed, right? There's Kenny and there's producing. There's you and I mean, we've been friends, our daughters dance together. Yeah. But if you don't get personal, you don't create. So whoever knocks you down and tells you otherwise, they're wrong and they're just jealous and insecure, right?
Well, just to kind of pick up on that, something that's important when you said about famous or your favorite quote or whatever. Listen, especially in real estate, you know, and in every profession, and being a woman, it's not always that easy. And many times, instead of, you know, someone helping you get ahead, you have to work a little harder. But my mother used to always say, and it's probably going to get lost in translation from Greek to English, but it doesn't matter what is said, it matters who's saying it.
Correct.
So if you're going to give value where it's not due, don't give that value. Everyone knows their worth. So
no, go ahead, finish your statement.
You know, so again, I love the Americana because of my connection with my mom, and it lights up my life. And when I had the void when my mom passed away, a very young, I mean, she was a former model, a beautiful, self-made antique dealer. It helped me reconnect. And I know it sounds crazy, but it did. Even just walking at the Americana, getting coffee, which is my favorite. I'm obsessed with coffee from Pronto. But making those personal connections with the stores, with the brands, with the moment. So what my specialty, what my focus is my partnerships are always evolving. I'm always meeting people. I base my reputation on my business on my personal connections. And I'm very respectful of brand guidelines, corporate guidelines, and in order to preserve their footprint and integrity of these brands as well. So it's not an easy job. You have to jump through rings of fire sometimes.
100%.
But I like to provide a moment. So what I do is I take every house I fall in love with, I make a connection either with a room or just something in the house. So I'm able then to take that moment, that connection I have with the luxury listing, and then bringing in and infusing that magical moment with one of the partners from the Americana.
I love that. So the moment creates the experience.
Correct.
Right? So the moment creates an experience, which is unbelievable, and it's all about that. Appreciating the moment, capitalizing on what's around you, and allowing people to experience what you're seeing and your vision. It's beautifully said. Very interesting that you quote your mom a lot. We'll give you a little synopsis. We both lost our mom. Beyond the scene, meet Malia, which you're going to meet next week. She also lost her mom. We get this butterfly connection that just is incredible. We actually want to call this podcast the Butterfly Connection. However, it appeals more coast to coast because we want to say what we're experiencing. There's the most magical vibe that we have, and energy and collab. And, you know, if women and men, you know, I feel men also try to compete with one another today too. If we just uplift one another and learn, right, from each other, we can be, they're endless
just
possibilities.
Just connect.
Just connections of who you are. So I love that you mentioned that as well. And another thing I just want to stress out, you know, Fay was saying to us, it's the negativity that probably sticks to the mind, right? But you should listen only to the positive. That's what your mom taught you. Don't listen to the negative. And unfortunately, I'm actually going to quote my favorite movie again, Pretty Woman, when she explained that if you hear, for every 10 compliments, right? She said, if you hear one negativity, that's the one that sticks in your mind. However, let's capitalize. Let's try to be a nation and women that just listens to the positive and remember that the negative comes from an unwanted source or something that's negative that's happening in someone else's life, not your life. Be you, be yourself, be authentic, and rise above the negativity, because you can succeed and you can create and you can be something that inspiring and can inspire one without even knowing. Right?
100%. And I just want to add something there, because, I mean, that was actually perfect and quite brilliant. But one thing, another way that I was raised, which was important and shaped me to who I am, is, you know, my father, my grandfather, who was a mentor as well, when I was, it didn't say or say I'm restricted as a woman, or didn't look at me as a woman, as an individual.
Yeah.
And I look to accomplish that. And everyone that I meet, I look to elevate them, elevate their brand, or connect, or help. That's what makes me kind of tick.
I love it. I love that. So be an individual. Look at everyone, as Fay said, as an individual, not woman, men, but a person. I love that. I think that's great. So I know, Fay, that you are Greek and you speak Greek, right?
Yes.
Do you speak any other languages?
I have dual citizenship with Greece as well. I speak fluent Greek and English. I switch back and forth from one to the other. I speak pretty good Spanish, especially when I'm very comfortable.
Very
My
good.
pronunciation is pretty authentic. In general, I love languages. I've taken Hebrew lessons.
Oh.
Just every language.
That's
Russian.
incredible.
My one brother married Russian, and I had to say my speech in Russian. I just love languages. My grandfather was the same way.
Yeah.
So I've been great with languages from a kid. Just French, I have a difficult time with the pronunciation.
Oh, I will teach you.
Okay.
Okay. Je suis promise. I will teach you. I promise. So I feel like once you speak one language, it's very easy to learn another
100%.
language. What is the benefit of speaking a couple of languages?
I just think, especially for me, like I meet so many different people from so many different origins, and it's another way of connecting with them.
Yeah, it's true. Once you speak another language, I'll tell you in real estate, once I speak a different language with someone who is from that origin, they feel like they can trust you more because you understand their native tongue.
Correct.
Although English is the universal language, but it is a huge plus. So speaking of Greece, we were speaking earlier about real estate in Greece. Will you tell us about what's going on in Greece? Greece had went through a major downfall and bankruptcy and all that, but they came up on top. And please tell us what is going on today in real estate.
I have to start talking about Greece with an example of a conversation I had with someone who was in real estate, who had just launched a pretty big global brand in Athens. And one of the things that I spoke to him, and again, it's a culture with men, with women, et cetera. And he says, Greece is about Mykonos and Santorini, and that is it's misspoken. Because yes, Mykonos is amazing. Yes, Santorini is amazing. No disrespect. It's become such a brand in its own, but there's so many other beautiful elements in Greece. We see what's going on in Athens Riviera.
Yeah.
You have so many people from Dubai, Russia, everywhere globally becoming residents. And Athens Riviera is just absolutely beautiful. Astor Beach is one of my favorite places in the entire universe.
Gorgeous.
But something else I want to highlight is I'm from Kalamata, where the olives and the olive oil comes from.
My
Because
favorite
somebody always
olives.
asks me. And there's like a hidden jewel, I want to say. And there's a hotel that was created by a Greek-Russian billionaire called Costa Navarino, which is part of the Starwood collection. That was so successful that they brought the W Hotel, then they brought the Mandarin Oriental, but then the next step, which I'm excited and I want to kind of find where my niche and my future is they're building luxury residences.
Wow.
So Yannis, a Greek freak, bought his residence there. Another buck player bought another residence there, and it is the village where it is kind of on the Ionian side of the sea. So it's absolutely stunning, and it's only 2.5 hours away, 3 hours from Athens drive, plus it's near an international airport. So you can go to Mykonos as well.
That's incredible. So do we know the name of the building?
No.
No.
No,
Is it just a rumor?
No, it's happening.
It's happening.
And I don't know if they're just calling it Costa Navarino luxury residences. That's what we're waiting to see.
I love that.
But they're in full swing.
Okay, so anyone needs a resident in Greece, please contact me.
Yes, 100%.
We will be happy to take you.
Correct.
Okay, so we have the Greek, I speak Hebrew, English, Spanish, and French. Let's go. So thank you for that information. Favorite place in Greece?
I love all of Greece. I went to school in northern Greece, so there isn't one part of Greece I don't love. And I always say everyone has a little Greek in them. So everyone falls in love with a certain part of Greece.
100%, especially with Greek salad.
But I love Kalamata. It's where my family's from. Actually, my favorite part is Mani, which is it's right outside of Kalamata, but it's green, wild, mountain, and gorgeous turquoise waters.
I love it. When are we going?
Tomorrow.
Okay,
I'm
let's
ready.
go. I'm ready. Let's go pack. So as we can see, Fay is a fashionista. How can you not be a fashionista being from an Americana?
Long Island.
Long Island. Long Island people love their fashion. Tell me your fashion must-have.
One of my trademark things, it's become a trademark, is a small luxury accessory, like a small bag from Gucci to Chanel to anything small is like my go-to. My phone is always in my hand. I'm always capturing a moment or taking a photo, but my go-to is having like a small little bag. It has my lip gloss, my business cards, and cash and a credit card. I don't need anything else to survive.
Love
and if
it.
I need it, I can pair it up with like a matching like large size bag for my favorite designer.
Very cute. You can throw it in and,
Yep.
and be done with it.
Correct.
I think it's adorable. What's in your makeup bag right now?
Well, besides my business card, I
Yes.
love Sisley. I don't wear a lot of makeup. So
Yeah.
besides like my little chapstick and lip gloss, I love Sisley. I love Sisley products. I use it on my skin 24/7.
Beautiful.
So I love like their anti-age serum. I put it on all the time.
Yeah.
And then their oil. I always have like their mini oil. It's like this big. It's a travel size, and it gives you an instant plumpness and glow.
Ooh,
I'm
I
obsessed.
love it. Well, you are glowing and you look beautiful. Your skin
That's
looks
because I love the
flawless.
company. That just makes me
Aw,
shine.
Thank you. No, you look beautiful. Thank you. Favorite movie?
Oh gosh, I'm a big Harry Potter fan. I know it sounds
Wow,
ironic.
my son too. That's
but
awesome.
I love all different types of movies. I know it drives my husband crazy. I love foreign movies. I love watching with subtitles. I
Yes.
think that's because growing up in Greece, we would always watch in English subtitles. So it drives him crazy. So I love watching movies from Spain. The Money Heist. I love The Money Heist.
The Money Heist.
Obsessive. I binge
just
watch a
saw
lot.
him. I just saw what is the name of the guy from Money Heist? I just saw him eating an Avra literally 2 days ago. Front and center is Alvaro Mortis from the Money Heist. Gorgeous, cut all his hair off, super nice, and blew me a kiss. It was so much fun. I met a lot of people on my California trip, but that's for another segment. Favorite movie, you said Harry Potter. Did you ever have the butterbeer at Universal?
No.
It's insane. It's
Really?
so good. It's non-alcoholic. But after a ride, the Harry Potter ride, you have to have the butterbeer. It's absolutely delicious.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned for the butterbeer. Okay, maybe we'll bring it to Long Island. And Americana, we can serve it. Okay. Is there anything today that I have not asked you that you wished I asked you?
No. I think we covered the passions that we have, the passions that connect us, and just how we love making that connection. And let's see what's going to happen in the future.
I just remember one question that I want to ask you. Any new charities this year for Americana?
One of the new charities that I'm looking forward to help kind of brand themselves and get involved in Champions for Charity, and I just spoke with the gentleman today. He's from the American Cancer Society.
Oh, great.
It's a new charity I just found out about, and I was just talking about it last week. It's called Real Men Wear Pink.
Love that.
So and they have a year-long campaign. They launched actually January of last year, and it ends January of this year. I just got involved, and I'm learning more about it, and then sometimes it's timing and connection.
Yeah.
So and I'm excited to kind of bring that to life at the Americana.
I absolutely love that. Another thing Faye and I are working on, I started a charity called Cheer for Children, supporting medical research at Cohen's Medical Center. This charity had started approximately 7 years ago. I volunteer at Cohen's Medical Center. I teach art appreciation there. Yes, my other talent, but and it's actually televised throughout the hospital, and from that came a charity. This charity took a pause, unfortunately, and I can cry about it, during COVID, because the charity would go to stores and have either book signing or bring people, influencers, and proceeds went to the hospital. However, good news. My daughter, who's a senior, is going to have the first launch back into the world of Cheer for Children at Mixology
In Roslyn.
And tell us about what we're going to be doing.
So December 11th, we're going to be launching and starting at Mixology Roslyn. Their team is fantastic. They're excited to support, give back. I mean, their team, I love working with their team there, and they're thrilled. So we're going to be, cheering for children for Cohen Children's Hospital from 11 to 5.
I love it.
Come down, come support.
Yes.
Look very fashionable. Actually, I'm wearing Mixology today.
I love it, and I'm going to copy you. It's okay. It's good. I love that jacket blazer, and we need to have it.
I like the pop of color, and you have to see their collection is always on point.
On point.
I've met the owners; they love getting involved. I mean, they give back to the community. Which the next thing we're going to do after December, which Years for Children with Cohen's Hospital, is something I did before COVID, and I think it's a great opportunity to launch together. Where we worked with a child life specialist, and we did a makeover for teenage girls that were undergoing cancer treatment.
I love that. And for those of you who don't know what Child Life is, I could cry honestly just like speaking about it, because I was in the hospital seeing what they do. So a lot of times there are children stuck in a hospital for a very, very long time. And the parents have to work. So they rely on either people like me to give them like an hour lesson, or child life specialists that are there throughout the day.
They're warriors.
And they're warriors. They come in, they do makeovers. They come in and they sit down and play a game with them. They come in and take them to the next appointment, like if they have to do an x-ray or, you know, an MRI or anything, they'll be with them. And they're super fun and uplifting. And if anyone wants to get involved in that and they're looking for volunteers, please do contact Sam Muffley at Cohen's Medical Center. By the way, Sam Muffley from Child's Life will be coming to Mixology this Sunday, December 11th. He will be there at around 11 a.m. from 11 a.m. to noon, but the event will be from 11 till 5 p.m. And 20% will go to support Cohen's medical research, which we know let's support our children. And they really are one of the top hospitals that, you know, we should really get involved in. But let's say on a high note, we're going into Thanksgiving. I always have my family around the table say what they're thankful for. So this year I'm thankful for this podcast. For you, Kenny, our producer, for Malia, for Fay, for you being here today, because this podcast is taking a turn. We're not just talking about mortgages and real estate. We're talking about real life issues and how to navigate in life in such a, you know, coming out of a crisis. And to me, I'm thankful for the podcast. I'm thankful for all the people in it. And what are you thankful for?
Pretty much, I'm thankful for that I'm blessed with having people around me, such as yourself. I'm meeting amazing people every day, and I'm literally, and I'm known for it, I say thank you and blessings every single day. So I'm thankful for all the people I have around me, my family, and just being able to be around people like you.
Yes, for family, friends, and connections. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Fay, this is the Gold Coast Connections coming to you with another great episode. Stay tuned next week where we meet a very, very special little puppy.